Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have been thinking, meaning myself and the physicist, for quite some time that there is an object behind the Earth, off in the distance, possibly further out than Saturn, or possibly inside of the orbit of Saturn and Jupiter. Possibly right about here. The reason why we've been thinking about this is very simple. We've been showing you for quite some time what's been happening to the magnetopause, how it's been flattening out. We've seen this for the last several days, June 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. You know, we showed you all of these effects of the bow shock. Now, you know, we realize that we get a lot of energy coming from the sun, basically directly in this way. But what's happening with substellar energy coming from the backside? Where's it coming from? Flattening out the bow shock. Heavily magnetically charged particles blasting into the nighttime side of the Earth, flattening the magnetopause. Where's it coming from? Now, I've had my suspicions about Saturn. Saturn does have a pretty big magnetic field. And taking a look, if you look here at the date right here, we're on June 22nd. There's not going to be too much of a difference between a day or two. But if you see this, Saturn is directly aligned, well, pretty close, with Earth. Would Saturn's magnetic field affect our magnetopause? Maybe, maybe not. But if there was an object slightly closer, say for instance, maybe here, maybe a little further out, behind Saturn, maybe closer, how would we find this object? Where would it be? Would it affect our planet if it had a very strong magnetic force? Well, let's take a look at what I discovered this morning. I'm going to show you some photographs. This is coming off of Secchi. Same date, June 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd. Now, I took a screenshot. And this is Saturn, right there. Well, what is supposed to be Saturn? This little fixture of light. But then off in the distance, I see this, in this massive dust cloud. You know, and we've been seeing this huge dust cloud of debris moving through space. I hope you can all clearly see this. A few weeks ago, I pointed this out again in the same imaging, but back about 10 days ago. I'm sure that you can see this object. It's enveloped in this massive gaseous dust cloud. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you. I hope you can clearly see this with the resolution on your computer or your television screen. There is absolutely no way that you're going to get a perfectly circular object in space behind a dust cloud. And there it is. You can clearly see this arch, and it moves its way around. Pretty incredible, don't you think? Let's take a look at another photograph. One frame advanced. Well, there we go again. Again, perfect arch, perfect circle, hidden in the dust cloud. Let's zoom in. There you go. I have not touched these photographs other than screenshotting them and putting in the arrows so you can see them. Now this is supposed to be Saturn. This little white dot. Not this object. I hope you can clearly see that. What gives it away is its darker color and this arch right here. You're not going to see these types of clearly defined, perfectly defined arches in a dust cloud in deep space. Let's take a look at another frame. Here's another frame, one frame advanced into the future. Once again, this is even more clearly defined. And what has the doctor told us? That these brown dwarf stars are enveloped in gaseous clouds. We all know, dealing with the theory of Nibiru, we're talking about debris fields and things of that nature. Well, here's your debris field. Here's your big, massive dust cloud, gas cloud, whatever you want to call it. Once again, I'm supposing that they've labeled this small structure here Saturn. But here you can clearly see a defined spherical object covered by gas and dust and debris. I'll zoom in a little more. I hope it does not ruin the resolution again, you know, on your television, your computer screen, whatever you're viewing this. Here you go. Here is a perfect arch forming a perfect circle, clearly hidden in this dust cloud. There's no way that that is a reflection, because you have this portion of this dust cloud partially covering this object, and then more down here. I have some video of it. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Let's take a look at one more frame. Again, now in this frame, I also see something back here. Now, would that be a reflection of this object onto this dust cloud right here? But this object is clearly defined. I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here. Here you go. It's pretty massive. Where is this situated? It's situated right where I was showing you. I'm going to go ahead back to the solar system scope for just a minute. Now, once again, here's the date. June 22nd, 2017. Here's Saturn. This object is either over here, somewhere off in the distance over here. You know, the perception is sometimes a little hard to judge. But if this is a massive brown dwarf star with a huge, very powerful magnetic field, it would be projecting its magnetic field everywhere, including directly straight to the backside or the nighttime side of the Earth. You can clearly see it. Let me just bring this back a little bit. So if this object was back here, it would be projecting its magnetic field everywhere, impacting the back of the Earth, the nighttime side, therefore flattening out our magnetopause, affecting our magnetosphere as it has been, reversing solar winds because the substellar winds are coming from the backside. This object is clearly out here near Saturn. You know, we had projected that this object was off in the distance between Jupiter and Saturn many months ago, going back into the end of the winter time, beginning of the spring. Is the object moving in closer and off this way? Yes, I believe so. I actually believe that this object is just inside of the orbit of Jupiter, directly behind the Earth. I mean, I could be wrong. Could it be further out? I believe it's closer. I believe it's much closer. I'll just zoom in just a little bit. So you can clearly see, if there was an object here, it would be affecting the back side of the Earth, the nighttime side of the Earth, causing these, well, I don't really want to use the word anomalies, because they're not anomalies, flattening out our magnetosphere like this. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. And you can see very, very high density coming in. And we've been seeing this for almost a week now. And there are some issues coming from the sun. The solar winds were up there pretty high. We had some coronal hole issues, and all of that was facing the Earth. But what is flattening out this bow shock? You know, getting back to these photographs, we're going to take a look at the next photograph, and I converted this into black and white so we can clearly see once again. Here's your large object. Here it is, enveloped in a gas cloud or a dust cloud. Let's zoom in so you can see it more clearly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I can show this photograph to 10 people. And out of those 10 people, maybe 5 of them don't clearly see this object. Maybe everyone sees this object. There it is. It is right where I suspected it to be. There is a gas cloud or a dust cloud partially covering it, but you cannot deny that this is a perfect arch all the way through here. Perfect circle. So what would be enveloped in this huge dust cloud and huge gas cloud with all of this debris everywhere around it? Do you think that you would see some type of a anomaly that would be a perfect spherical object in all of this gas everywhere around you? But you only see this object in a perfect formation of a sphere. Pretty interesting. When you put the pieces of the puzzle together, this is what we're coming up with. Now, I zoomed in and I cropped this portion of the image so maybe you can see this perfect spherical object right there enveloped in the gas cloud. Look at it. Now, if anybody has a legitimate answer to what I'm looking at, I would love to hear it. But to me, in my trained eye, because I've been looking at these types of photographs and this imaging from stereo and Secchi for a long time, I don't see these types of spherical objects in dust clouds. And we haven't seen a lot of these debris fields moving in, you know, here and there, but not as heavy as what we've been seeing over the past few weeks. I hope you could all see that. There it is. You can see the perfect line. Perfect line. And you're not going to get anything like this by accident. Nature is not going to form this perfect sphere in space in the middle of a massive dust cloud or gas cloud in outer space. I just don't think it's going to happen. Now in this photograph, this was advanced one more frame. I adjusted the contrast to just make it a little bit darker so maybe we can clearly see this defined arch, which to me is in signifying this entire sphere. I'm considering this to be one of our large, very large brown dwarfs or brown dwarf stars. I'm going to zoom in and hopefully you can see it. Here you go. Pretty massive. And you can see it has all sorts of activity going on around it. Right there, folks. There it is. Now, you know, that takes me back to the magnetopause. And what is flattening it out? What is causing all of these disturbances like this? Everything coming from behind the Earth, flattening the bow shock out. It's pretty incredible to see this, but quite dangerous. Quite dangerous for us to have these types of effects on our magnetosphere and our magnetopause. Very, very alarming. And once again, let's take a look at the positioning. There you go. Here it is, June 22nd. Everything, all of the dates coinciding. So if you have the object anywhere back here or up here, its magnetic energy, its magnetic force is going to be pushed straight towards the back side of the Earth, the nighttime side of the Earth. With our magnetosphere in the front, right here, wrapping around from side to side, protecting us from the solar energy of the sun. But yet we see the flattening out of the bow shock coming from directly behind. You know, I've been looking at this for quite some time this morning. Quite a bit of time. That's my conclusion. That's what I think is occurring. That's where I think the positioning of this object, it's out there by Saturn. You have Pluto approaching, and you see the letter H over here. That's Earth. That is Earth. It's cut off in the video, in the Secchi video. There's the object. There's Earth. There's the object. There's Earth. Now this is video, and I'll just play it so you can see it in motion. And this is going to turn from light, or from dark to light, and then this object will be illuminated. Bingo, there you go. You can clearly see it where my cursor is. Nothing's been done to this video, and you'll see it pop up when the light illuminates it. There it is. And then you have Saturn right here. You can see Saturn's Birkeland current line flashing. And then you'll see the object as it gets illuminated. It's right here in the dust cloud. So to me, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is just giving me more and more proof positive that this object is what is causing all of the problems behind the Earth. We've had a lot of suspicions for quite a while. Myself and the doctor have conferred on this for quite some time. It's just finding the evidence. I think today, groundbreaking evidence once again, showing clearly that there is a massive object off in the distance behind the Earth, possibly further out than Saturn, but it's definitely affecting the Earth in a very, very bad way. This is what we're searching for, folks. That object right there. To me, I think this is once again groundbreaking information, groundbreaking proof. You're seeing it right here on the Nibiru channel and Planet X News. And I'll be showing all of this to the doctor as soon as we touch base again later on this morning. And I'm sure she's going to be pretty amazed at what she sees. And this is only going to confirm her observations, because it definitely confirmed mine. I wanted to bring you this information, folks, so you clearly understand that we are under a major threat. That object is there. There is no doubt about it. If you don't believe me, go to the Secchi website. Punch in the dates, June 20th, 2017. Click on the H1. Watch it very slowly. Expand your screen, zoom in. Watch very carefully to the left-hand side of the word Saturn. Look at it yourself. Take some screenshots, some still photographs. Help out. You're part of this team. You're part of the investigation. You watch the videos, you listen to me, you listen to the doctor. I've mentioned this before. We are all in this together on this planet. You are a team member. If you come up with something, maybe a clearer image, maybe you have better photo programs than I do, get those images over to me. You can email them to Nibiru planetx2016@gmail.com, or you can go to the Planet X News Facebook page and you can drop those pictures in a message and send them over. The sooner, the better. So I hope everyone sees exactly what I'm seeing. I've been working on this now for several hours, making sure that what I'm seeing is clearly there. And that is a massive object. And this massive object is behind the Earth, off in the distance, and I'm showing you clearly over here on the solar system scope how it would be affecting the Earth. Here's your date, June 22nd. The energy coming straight in to the dark side of the Earth, impacting our magnetopause from behind, therefore flattening it out, causing all of this to occur. So I hope this all makes sense to everyone. I've done my best to make it completely understandable, and I'm sure you do understand it. I'm going to be showing all of this information to the doctor later on this morning, and we are probably going to be doing a live stream pertaining to this, and the doctor has written a very good paper on these Kuiper belt objects, and we will probably review all of that information. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay tuned. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that your notifications are set up for the Planet X News channel and the Nibiru channel. Make sure you are following the Planet X News Facebook page. You'll find a lot of great information. This is Scott from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel. Thank you very much for watching.